Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
And two idiots join the Inquisition. Dark Heresy! Welcome back to another episode of Dark Heresy. As the Imperial scribe of this vessel, I am so excited, to be documenting the many adventures of Space Marines Kevinson, Lucius Malta, Wilhelm, and their Nephelim companion, Daniel Fernandez. When you last left them, our kill team dispatched a servitor uprising while aboard their vessel. It seems the serrated Quarry, a powerful and shadowy organization, may have had a hand in this. With this new information and their arrival on Aurum rapidly approaching, what dangers could they be stepping into? And will the Imperium's best be prepared for it? Let's find out.
Alright, Daniel, just turned you back on. I think we just touched down on the planet. What's this planet again?
This is Aurum. Were you looking through the windows as we were coming down?
I was distracted by all the colors. It's usually a lot darker and grayer in space.
No, this is a pretty good planet. It's all very golden, but there's like jungles, but there's also like savannas and canyons. It just looks like a pretty awesome planet with lots of cool stuff.
Wait, you're telling me this planet has different ecosystems? It's not just like one giant ecosystem across the entire planet like most planets are?
How many planets have you been to?
I feel like I've been on like cold ice planets and sand planets. Isn't that how most of solar systems and planets work? They're
single biome planets.
Yeah, single biome planets, right? Maybe that was just some of those Fox recordings that we're watching.
Yeah,
They always seem to just be one ecosystem. No. It's real strange.
There's many, even the many famous death worlds like Catachan have.
Well, that's nice to know that those death worlds have different ways that you can die.
Well, we just landed a little ways outside the city, the capital city, where it's the only place that they're letting Imperials into. It's a pretty huge, tribal-looking city on top of a mesa.
Okay, so
they're not letting the Imperials land inside the city. Also, I don't even know if there'd be room for the Imperials to land inside the city. So we're on this sort of bluff outside the city.
Why would you say it's pretty tight, pretty compact in there?
Yeah, I don't think that they built it planning on landing spaceships inside of it.
That seems like an oversight in this millennium.
Well, they'd been sort of separated from the Imperium for a very long time.
I guess so.
But who brings in all their big transportations? Like, if it's not coming in on a big old spaceship.
That's the thing. They're not bringing many people in because they're not letting anybody in. They got a problem with the Imperium.
Where do they get all their resources if it isn't from other planets, of like planets dedicated to creating those resources? Like a giant planet of corn, like those single corn. Have you guys really not heard about these planets? I feel like I'm losing my mind.
So there's a very long path that's winding up the cliffside, and there's a sort of like a parade of not a parade.
Well, there's a parade?
No.
Hold on a second, I'll be right back.
There's just a whole bunch of people like in a huge line walking their way up the cliffside. So we should probably.
It's the only path, isn't it?
Yeah, all these people, they all have very tan skin. Most of them look pretty muscular, the men and the women, and they've got caravans and they got these weird animals that are bringing the stuff in. I think we just got to go up to the city.
I begin walking on the path.
Daniel?
Yeah.
That wasn't a parade, okay? I checked.
Okay, well, as you ran over there and now Wilhelm's walking over there, you are getting a couple of glances from people as you're walking up. I mean, you're in your full power armor. You tower over these people who are actually generally like very large for a normal human being, but you're not normal human beings. You are beyond.
That's right.
It looks like it'll probably take us like maybe half an hour of walking to get all the way up to the city.
That's fine. I mean, we all live on ships that literally take hours to cross, so.
Here comes half an hour of small talk.
So as we could sort of enter into the column of people, and all of them are studiously not saying anything to us. Like, we're getting some looks from people, but they're all just not saying anything to us as we're walking up.
Brother, I feel like they took a peg from you, Wilhelm.
Wilhelm, you're the talkative one. Get one of these people talking.
I like these people.
Get to the back, Kevin.
The back of what? Of this line?
The back of the line, Kevin.
There's a lot of people here. Is that a command?
Get to the back of the line, Kevin.
All right, bye.
You guys can choose to just walk up this pathway and not just ignore everything, or you could try to get a feel for what's going on. Make like a scrutiny or a inquiry check, depending on.
For me, it would definitely be. Actually, it would be sort of in between. I would be suspicious that the fact that no one's talking to us.
You're gonna say like half a sentence and then like just stare at them.
Yeah, it's just like. So, what's with the procession?
We're going to the city.
All right then.
Nice.
Okay, that you know what? That conversation doesn't require a roll. That one, you got it.
Mission accomplished.
got some critical intel.
They're my favorite people.
All right. So Wilhelm, you sort of said that you were going up there, whereas Kevin, you were told to go to the back. I don't know.
Well, I went to the back to talk to the people in the back. You know,
Okay.
there was tagging along in the back because they're having such long, in-depth conversations. I'm going to use scrutiny. Right? That's to talk to people?
No.
Dang it. Inquiry.
Inquiry would be the talk to
That's
people.
what I meant.
Scrutiny is to like
Staring
look
at
them. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I'm trained in it. So that means I get nothing?
I don't think.
You're not really much of a talker, I don't think.
What do you mean? People love me.
I mean, okay, you are a talker, but you're maybe not good at talking.
That's probably more accurate.
I also don't think intimidation
I'm
is
trained.
in your wheelhouse.
I know
at
a
all.
lot about demonology. I can talk to them about demons.
I mean, you could just talk to them without rolling.
Yeah, it's
but,
true.
Like,
Talk to them with words out of your word mouth.
What? Okay. I'll give it a try. Hey, so we're all here in this line. What are you doing today?
I'm bringing my crops and my husband's hunts in for to sell them at the market. The woman that you're talking to with a very deep voice points back. They have like a caravan where they're being pulled by these reptilian beasts. You remember the captain when you were coming down told you that these are agraxes. Agraxes.
Can I,
They're a little less temperamental than a grox, but they're still pretty...
do I kind of know what these are? Like, are these general lizard-like creatures known around the universe? Or?
No, they're not. They're native to this planet.
I'm gonna roll to see if I know anything about them. Would it be like Imperium, like
You could even just make a
flat intelligence roll?
yeah, just a flat intelligence roll while you go to
Here we
check it out.
go. 43 or lower. That's a 32.
Okay, so you're going to notice this. You see that it's sniffing around, and you recognize that as similar to the way other beasts behave. You don't really recognize these, but they look similar to beasts that you've seen on other planets. You haven't necessarily seen these ones before, but you see that the one in the lead of the caravan is getting very antsy. It seems to be like smelling. There's like some sort of different smell that it's never smelt before.
Oh, gee, I wonder what it could be.
And actually, because you rolled on your intelligence well, you notice that maybe there's about to be a sort of stampede on this cliff face.
Whoa, what? Wait, from how many of these creatures are there?
There are 4 of them that are pulling this wagon. They are about the size of an earth, I don't know, like bison?
At least like a ton in weight.
Yes, exactly.
essentially. Okay.
Each one, and they all look pretty antsy, or just
They're all, the front one looks really freaked out, and it seems to be affecting the other ones in the group as well.
Excuse me. I hate to interrupt this very in-depth conversation about agriculture, but something's going on with your lizard friends. Is there something we can do?
The husband whirls around and is looking at them. Is like, they're going crazy. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to say the other 2 Space Marines are near enough to this. You can see if you could do anything to calm these animals down, or maybe you're going to have to do damage control.
So I immediately I hear the ruckus.
Yeah.
And I like bump Wilhelm's shoulder, and we both turn around and just sort of start walking through the crowd. Like I've got a chip on my shoulder towards these animals that are beginning to annoy me.
Hey, buddy, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm just waving my hands like wildly in front of them.
Do you have any sort of fellowship skill or like animal handling?
No animal. Yeah, right here. No, no sort of animal handling. I have some fellowship. It is the lowest rating that I have of a 37, so I can try that.
Okay, and it's going to be at -10 because you don't have any actual training in anything.
Nice. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That's a 6.
Okay, well, you succeeded calming these things down, I guess. Shoot, I wasn't expecting you to roll a 6.
I was about to ask if they were considered land vehicles and I could drive them.
Well, maybe now that I've calmed them.
Yes.
Hey, buddy. Hey, everything's gonna be okay, little guy. Yeah. Stuff's weird, I know. But, like, you gotta keep calm. All these people are really nice and they don't want to fall off a cliff. So just take it easy.
Thank you. You think you maybe saved us a lot of hassle, though they maybe were looking at attacking you more than anything else.
I know. It felt like a lot of plot was about to happen, and then it was diverted.
No, this is good. We'll probably get to the city more efficiently now and move along to other matters.
Kevin, what's
okay.
going on?
Oh, well, these nice lizard creatures were getting a little rowdy, but, I spit some strong game, and they settled down.
I just stare at Wilhelm.
I turn and walk away.
Yeah, I stare at him. He walks
Is that-
away. Then I shake my head and walk back.
And
Is that the correct terminology for animal handling?
there's
Spitting game?
There's an adolescent girl who is with the pair of parents, and she sort of cocks her head a little bit towards you and says, "So, what are you?"
Oh, I'm and Kevin Kevinson poses, a space marine.
A space marine.
Now see this? And I pull out like my giant force sword. This is my special magic sword. You can touch it if you want, but don't touch it for too long. I think weird stuff happens.
Her mother grabs her and sort of pulls her back
No,
slightly.
it's okay. It's totally fine. And I'm just like shaking the sword around. No, buddy, it's okay. It's okay. This isn't for you. I'm putting it away. And I slide it back on my back.
I don't know about Wilhelm, but I am judging. My back is to him, and I hear everything that's happening, and I'm just like, oh my god, please. Casualties are acceptable on this mission.
Are you with the Emperor?
Do you mean the Emperor, right? Or
That's
do you
what
mean a local emperor?
No, you're with the people that keep coming to the planet, right?
Yeah.
That talk about the Sky Emperor?
He's everywhere. He's in the sky. He's inside of you, too.
That's not what the priest said.
Oh, well, they know a lot more about that stuff. I'm going to be honest. I was kind of shooting in the dark on that one, but...
I don't really like the priest. He's a wimp.
Oh, well, I'm sure he's just doing his best. Who is that priest?
Oh, I don't remember his name. I offered to arm wrestle him, and he said no.
Oh, that's too bad. Everybody should, get in on a good arm wrestle now and again, but...
He's a coward. Are you a coward?
Well, definitely not. Did you see how big my sword was? Do you think someone with that big of a sword would be a coward? I don't think so.
I think if you need a really big weapon, that kind of makes you a coward. And if you don't just fight with your hands, and if you're in this stone clothes that you have, I don't get it.
Oh, well, this is because, people in my profession tend to get hit with giant things like guns and monsters and, drop off of things from great heights. So, it just keeps me safe.
You hear somebody who's like been eavesdropping the conversation just walking by and just, so do our warriors.
All right, then, you know what? You threw it out there, and I throw my arm out. Let's do this. Let's arm wrestle, buddy.
What?
Oh, what? You're going to throw it out there and now you can't take it?
If you take off your stone clothes, maybe.
I'm not entirely sure how I would do that. I wonder if my organs fall out. I'm not entirely sure how that works. You know what?
Ha! Coward. And, you see that the other people in the line are just chuckling and laughing at you as they continue to walk up towards the city. You guys are getting pretty close.
Can I have it that when that guy says, ha, coward, he just turns around to keep walking, and I'm literally just standing there right behind him?
Okay. What do you say to him?
Well, I grab him, and I lift him off the ground.
Okay.
No one badmouths the servants of the Emperor.
This will just be a strength check.
Strength check?
Yeah.
That is exact. Oh, no, that's a 15. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I read that wrong.
You lift this guy up. Hey. Let me down.
Let's
and you
be
see
clear.
that a lot of people like going to their carts, and like they all pull out weapons. Like every single person in this line has grabbed like bone swords and like bows and arrows, and just they're all pointing at you.
I walk over there and just go up to you, and maybe this is not the time to be interacting with the locals.
And I look at Wilhelm, and I look at him, and I look
You also look at me and see that I have a hand on my chainsaw.
I'm like, and I look at Kevin, and I saw him before waving around his foresword, and I just like, I put the guy down, and I just be like, make sure you keep your comments to yourself. And I turn around and keep walking.
Okay. Very diplomatic, guys. Very diplomatic.
You look back, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get the armor off of one of my arms.
Never would I thought the guy who wanted to murder everyone on the planet would be the most diplomatic here.
I mean, I think Kevin might be trying to be diplomatic.
I was trying to arm wrestle, you know?
Hey, look, we're at the gates.
Wow, that went by real fast.
So you enter into the city itself, and it is bustling. And, I mean, obviously it's no hive world or anything, but it is very crowded. You start off in sort of residential areas, and there's these buildings that are stacked like stories high. It looks like you actually have to climb up a ladder on the outside of the building, and then you climb down into the building. There are no like doors on the lower levels in the original houses that were built here, presumably for defense or something like that. You are continuing to get like weird stares as you're walking through there. You also see some people whispering, and a lot of people are, in particular, are pointing at you guys, and like some's gesturing that they pick somebody up, and you're sort of getting a look around the city. You see that there is a main path that leads towards the castle that's in the center of it. That seems to be the seat of power. As you are going into the city, you see there's a balding man in ecclesiastical robes. He's standing right by the gate in a relatively new structure that has been built near the gate. It looks like maybe they converted an old building or something to a new mission, if you will, for the Imperial faith.
An Imperial standard cathedral type of deal?
To the best of their ability, yes.
How much gunmetal and black stone is this thing made out of?
Quite a bit. The Imperium doesn't slouch on that sort of thing. And he has a worn-out copy of the Imperial Creed that he's waving around. So there's 3 Orin, teens, essentially. They are towering over this balding priest. And one of them just pokes the priest in the chest, and he says, "If your god is so powerful, why are you so weak?"
Hey, you know what? That's not very nice. And I walk over to where the priest is and the teens.
Ah, here we go.
The priest, when he sees you guys, is mega excited.
Here is your answer. Here is the Emperor's chosen, the angels of death. These men are his holy champions, and they bring death and destruction to the Emperor's enemies, and his light to the galaxy. It is they, his blessed angels. Talk to see? That's why the Emperor is so awesome and great and holy.
Wow, that was quite an introduction. Hi, my name's Kevin Kevinson.
The teens have all turned to look at you guys.
How are you doing? Just kind of like thrown off by the fact of him giving such a crazy introduction.
They're sort of trying to decide if they want to rough up the priest anymore, but you guys are rather big.
Move along, young ones.
I walk through them.
Without slowing down.
Whether they move or are pushed out of the way is up to them.
Hey, what are you doing, old man? Or whatever the hell you are.
Not all servants of the Emperor are weak.
Yes, that is what I said.
All right, you need to tone it down a notch. Can we go speak inside, please?
As you wish, as you wish. And the teens are not... They're impressed by your size, but they're maybe not impressed by your war skills or anything. It's not like you've done anything.
So are they like still in the way?
They moved out of the way when Wilhelm was trying to walk through them. Kevin, you were trying to talk to them though, right?
Yeah, so you know what they say, the greatest strength is inner strength. How are you doing on that inner strength? Because you seem real rude.
You know who talks about inner strength, man? Weaklings.
Oh yeah, just feeling real weak in this power armor. You know what? Let's do it's an old tradition of my world. I don't know if you've ever heard of it around here. It's called an old-fashioned arm wrestle. And I put my arm out again to try to arm wrestle this kid.
Just determined.
I'm not. What?
You know, you too scared to use some of that inner strength and give me an old arm tussle?
Take off your arm thing and let's go, old man.
What do you mean? Why take it off?
Okay. If you don't want to play by the rules, that's fine.
What do you mean? I mean, look at it. Look at how heavy this thing is. Here, hold my arm for a second. You tell me if this is helping me or hurting me. And I just lay my arm on the kid's hand.
Okay. See, this is cheating, is what this is.
I mean, for you, yeah. I'm giving you a little bit of an advantage. I don't know. Do you want me to take it off or not?
Do you know how arm wrestling works?
I definitely know how to take it off. Trust me. Just give me 1 second. I imagine I'm not taking the whole armor off.
Yeah.
I'm just popping off the right arm,
Yeah.
dropping it on the ground with I assume, an incredibly large thud.
Oh, yes, exactly. A crowd is starting to gather around you guys now.
I guess we find some sort of flat base where we can rest both of our elbows.
They bring a barrel over.
Nice.
I go and grab the arm of the sacred armor that you shouldn't be taking off.
It's definitely in the dust.
And toss it to Wilhelm because I know Wilhelm will cut down anybody that tries to steal it.
I'll probably kill them with the arm.
Yeah, I mean, no judgment here. I mean, I just know you'll look after it.
I like that you have a thought that this is a rare opportunity where I could actually kill someone with an arm.
I'm sitting there contemplating its use as a weapon.
And we're going to make strength checks. So you no longer are getting the bonus that your power armor provides you to your strength. But you still, which is plus...
Still a Space Marine. So since my strength is normally 63, I'm 43 strength.
Yes.
That's an 84.
They rolled a 95.
Yes!
So both of you are just sort of struggling, and there's no real movement. I mean, I think both of you are going to have to roll again is what's going to happen because you both failed.
Oh, God.
Trying to build some tension
When you
here.
lose an arm wrestle to this teen, I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do.
28, baby.
12.
What? But wait, how many degrees of success?
You got more degrees of success because of your natural greater strength. It is more difficult than you expected to beat this teen in an arm wrestling match.
Kevinson definitely plays it off. I'm just oh man, you're totally beating me. Yeah.
And how many degrees of success did you get?
I got, that would just be 1, I guess.
You're good. I was going to see if you succeeded super duper, you would have maybe smashed the barrel or break this kid's arm. But you don't. But you beat him. And the crowd sort of murmurs in approval and
just happily you did a good job.
He's really good.
Gets you strong.
Is that
and
regrettable satisfaction?
Yeah,
and
yes, it was okay.
It's a really weird emotion. I'm really happy about this.
And the kid who you beat just sort of looks up and he says, okay, you're stronger than the other guys they brought. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but wait, what do you mean? What other guys? You talking about this guy over here?
No, he's the weakest one they have. I'm talking about the soldiers.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, always eat your vegetables. You have those here, right? Saw you had a lot of corn.
Sure.
Curious.
You're really big on corn.
Look, I don't know what the kind of thought is been around here, but we're here to help, and we're also really strong.
Are all Space Marines this strong?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, you haven't even seen my biggest muscle. It's my mind.
That's another thing weak people say.
Oh, trust me, my mind can make fire.
Okay, well, nice. And they all sort of walk away as you awkwardly say that.
I do a very loud and audible sigh, and then
But my mind can make fire.
and then grab the arm from Wilhelm and throw it at you.
Ow! Jeez! Wow, this is really heavy.
Don't discard the gifted armor so easily.
I wasn't. I just took it off to arm wrestle a teenager, like any Space Marine would do.
Does that sound something?
Yeah, it's pretty standard Space Marine behavior.
Prostration later.
I swear
Brother
I read
Wilhelm.
that in a codex somewhere.
You hear a very faint chuckling come out of Wilhelm's helmet. He's turned off his mic, but you can still hear it coming out.
So he slides the arm back on and locks it back into place.
All right.
Fucking tyrant.
You see how strong that teenager was, though? That was crazy. I don't want to tell them, but that was pretty tough at the beginning there. But then, I defeated him because I'm a Space Marine.
Still talking under my breath. I'm like, I fought fucking beast from beyond the galaxy. galaxy, and I gotta deal with this shit.
You were so close to me, and I'm too old for this shit.
And the priest has come up to Brother Wilhelm and has said, "Now you've come to help with the murders and the disappearances. Is that correct?"
That is my understanding.
"Oh, please come inside. Come inside."
We walk in. I
Yeah,
sort
we
of
go inside.
Yeah.
grab Kevin and guide him in. And then as soon as we walk in, I like punch Wilhelm's shoulder. I was like, "You should be right at home, right? Praise be to the Emperor always, right?"
And
This does look suspiciously like my home.
and it looks like the Imperium has invested, or at least the Ecclesiastes has spent a good deal of money actually to try and do some converts on this planet. But there
Got
are
some really high-end pamphlets.
Is it the
Some really nice-
Ecclesiarchy?
Ecclesiarchy. I don't know. I'm just a Nephilim. I don't. I'm live.
Oh, goodness.
I'm different than that other guy.
Man, they do make them different, I guess.
Yeah, we're just both named Daniel. It's completely different, and we sound very similar. We sound like everybody else in the galaxy, though.
That's true. They got that. They must have gotten that one voice and just imprinted it on all the servo skulls of Nephilim.
I'm an average of all voices in the universe. And unfortunately, you don't see anybody in here except for the priest. There are quite a few, pews and, places of worship and all this stuff, but nobody's in here.
So it looks like there's obviously this was built out to hold a lot more people and just
Yes.
not
You
happening.
see that some of the places just have a little bit of dust on them because just nobody's coming in here.
So light ceremony today or
I was going out and doing some proselytizing with the youth.
yeah like you do. So how are things been going?
Well, and you realize that his fire and brimstone conversion voice has changed to a little bit of a quieter voice. It hasn't been. I've had better assignments. I will say that. I've never had anybody working for me end up dead before, so that's new.
Right. We were curious about that. Can you tell us a little bit more about what might have happened with Sister Abigail?
Yeah. Do you have any evidence?
Sister Abigail, she was found dead. Her body was on an altar to Saint Dominica, and she had stabbed herself through the heart. The body has been given the final rites. I'm sorry if you wanted to inspect it, but
I was just about to ask. Yeah.
Do you have some kind of data footage or something to show that she actually committed suicide?
No, we don't, and I am skeptical that she did. She doesn't seem like the kind who would do it. She had a lot of suspicion for the people here. I believe that may have been part of our difficulty in gaining converts. She saw heretics everywhere she looked.
What about the blade itself?
It was one that she owned. It was a small blade. She began to suspect that there was some sort of secret that the people were hiding here, and she would go out and at night and do her own investigations. She said that sometimes she would see flame coming from over the western horizon at night, like the jungle was just of fire. And that she saw convoys of men heading that direction as well. No, they weren't going west. The men were going north. I don't know. She seemed kind of crazy to... I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but she saw enemies everywhere, but she may have been right.
Well, that's definitely what we're here to find out. You don't think by chance that this might have been anything that could be anything like heresy? Like maybe things from beyond the warp?
I don't... She believed it was a demon. I don't know if that's actually the case.
Well, let's figure it out. And basically Kevin Kevinson cracks his fingers together and walks into the center of the room. Is this where it all happened, where you found her?
Yes.
All right, this will just take me a moment. And Kevin Kevinson is going to try to do some cinescience to basically see if there's something to inspect in the area. There might be, if there was...
Any
or
tears
could be
in the warps or
tears
demon
or,
presence.
residual, warp effect, yeah.
If there was demon stuff going on this planet, you would be able to sense it with
Kevin
cinescience.
Kevinson's pretty good about it. So let's see. Perception check with cinescience. That's a 25. Yeah, that's a pass.
There are no anomalies here. There does not
Doesn't
appear
look
to
like there's
be
been
any
any
sort
tears
of
or anything.
Yeah, nothing. You are not getting any sort of demon presence, and you haven't the entire time you've been on this planet.
Well, that's good. That means that we haven't come for naught, because remember, that would not be our purview if there was.
Well, yeah, I've just, I've recently encountered some, we don't have to go into it, but...
So I know she was sneaking out of the city at night, which we're not really allowed to do.
Wait, we can't leave the city at night?
The agreement that the Lord Militant has made with the tribals is that we are respecting them, and they only want us inside the city. They don't want us leaving. They are very adamant about this.
Where's the Lord Militant now?
He is not currently on the planet, but I can lead you to the... we have a guard post here. We have the Imperial Guard is stationed here. We're slowly moving more and more men in, and hopefully we can start recruiting from among these natives. They are very strong warriors. There's also the old church, the temple that the natives go to. There's also the Kale's Palace. I suppose you should probably speak to Kale Darkscourge at some point.
Kale Darkscourge, you say?
Yes, he's the... They call their leader the Kale. He's in charge of all the people on this planet.
Okay. Kale Darkscourge. Pretty cool name. Maybe we should talk to him. He probably, runs all the rules around here, and if we want to go out at night, he's probably the guy to give us the thumbs up,
I can tell you where anything is the city, but it's pretty standard city stuff outside of that.
How many gates are there into the city?
There's one. It's the main gate.
How many guards do they have posted at night at the gate?
I haven't been counting. I know that I think there's at least 20 men on the walls at all times.
What kind of gate?
You came through it. It was a metal portcullis sort of deal, and there's a drawbridge of sorts over the that vast canyon that separates the cliffside from the actual city.
So, do you think we'd have much resistance if we went to the north and the east, as you suggested right now?
Oh, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. They don't want us going out at night, but they don't want us going out ever. That's the deal that the Lord Militant made.
Wait, we're supposed to just stay in this city and that's it? This is the only place we're allowed to go?
That's never going to happen.
Well, and that's the deal that the Kale made. I suppose you could talk to the Kale. He wanted to speak to the greatest warriors of the Imperium and was woefully unimpressed by the Imperial Guardsmen that were sent here.
We should go there immediately.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Wilhelm, how do you feel about it?
Wilhelm's already out the door.
Okay, all right then. Well, on to see the Kale.
As we're walking to the Kale, I say, if there's a challenge, Wilhelm, I'll expect you to accept it.
I will gladly.
As you're walking towards the Grand Palace, you're now seeing more and more people sort of whispering and pointing at you. And
are they making different gestures now instead of just the lifting of the person?
There's some people talking about the lifting, but there's also some people talking about the arm wrestling and saying that you seem pretty cool. You hear a couple of them even mentioning that they calmed the savage beasts. And then another one says,
nice.
"No, they pissed off the savage beasts."
Aww.
Just they're still trying to figure you out, but you are very big.
They're very conflicted because it's angry satisfaction. No, they fucked up the beast, but they also saved the beast. I mean, it's just all right. Well,
a child runs up to
an 8-foot tall child.
No, not an 8-foot tall child. This kid's like 5 years old.
He's only 6
7.
foot.
Yeah.
Lucius, a small child, runs up to you and says, "So you're from the stars, right?"
That's correct, little one.
Why are you so big?
All of the Emperor's finest are this size.
Say it's vegetables. Say that.
I'm not saying that.
Oh,
Where did you get... And, you're noticing this kid seems to be, unaccompanied. So you're just born that big?
We are born exceptionally large, and then through the blessings of the Emperor, we're made more mighty.
Why does that guy not talk?
He does, but he's kind of angry all the time, so we prefer that he doesn't.
Why is he angry?
That's a good question, Wilhelm. Why are you angry all the time?
Heretics.
What's a heretic?
Oh, man, you have so much to talk about.
3 hours later.
I look at the child and say, well, anyone who doesn't follow the Emperor.
Oh. Is that what the bald guy talks about in the robe with the flamethrower?
The priest? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I feel like he'd get a lot more visitors if he wasn't carrying that flamethrower around all the time.
I believe he should carry 2 flamethrowers.
Oh, okay. You know, I guess.
One flamethrower is insufficient for the Emperor's might.
His place looks interesting, but it's my dad says we
I'm
have to.
just imagining a bald guy outside with 2 flamethrowers just blasting like, "Come witness the Emperor's power! Why is no one coming to my servants?"
Okay, well, you guys, it's good. You're big. And a man runs out and grabs the kid by like the back of the neck. It's like, don't talk to them, and is like just pulling him away.
It was nice meeting you. Bye.
So we keep walking up the steps to this temple castle thing.
Well, the temple is separate from the castle. You go to the old temple if you like.
No, the
Yeah.
castle where the leader is, essentially.
Okay. You head towards the main sort of central castle, and there are 10 armed guards who are...
What are they armed with? Is it all just like bone weaponry?
Yes, bone weaponry.
For clarification, do these guards have 10 arms each, and then how many of them are there?
No, these are humans. They are not mutants.
Okay.
Okay. I know that could be confusing in this
That
spacey
is
universe.
actually a vitally important question for Wilhelm specifically.
10 armed guards.
Because do not...
But how many of them
Do
are
not
there?
suffer the heretic, but also equally important, do not suffer the mutant to live.
If there are
So-
6 10-armed guards, how many arms do they have?
60!
That's right, small child.
Get back here, kid. I told you to stop following them. And they have 2 of them with large spears sort of block your entrance. Say, what's your business?
We're here to see the Kale. We have things to discuss.
The Kale isn't here right now. He's at his house on the edge of town.
Oh, well now, can you point us in the direction of his house?
We'll take you there.
Oh, okay, cool. Wait, what were you guarding here with the Kale not being here?
We guard the palace. The Kale doesn't need guards.
Oh, okay.
Dark Scourge does not need guards.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's go visit his house then. I'm sure it's nice.
Take us to him immediately.
All right. I guess that priest didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And you are led to his estate, if you will. It's within the walls, but it's near the edge of town.
Has a nice view over the wall type of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only one with a hole. See out.
It actually goes like to one of the cliff edges.
Is this place a lot like the other places where there isn't like a door at the bottom?
No, this one looks like it's an extremely old building, actually. It looks like none of the other architecture that you've seen so far. There are actually like columns everywhere, like leading up to it. There's like an inscription over the door, but the inscription is sort of wearing off. Actually, if you make a scholastic lore astronomy, astromancy. Nobody knows what astronomy is anymore. Astromancy, you might be able to recognize what's being displayed here. Or do any of you have that? Or
could we make just like a
you could make a general
intelligence?
you could make a general intelligence check, but it'd be -10.
That's a 9. I
Are you
definitely know what
kidding
this
me,
is.
Kevin?
I got a 98. Don't worry. I really know what they are.
well, actually, I got a 31, so I also know, apparently.
You actually recognize these just barely. Actually, you're 9. Maybe the former occupant of this body knew this a little more than Kevin Kevinson does. And you recognize it just vaguely.
I've heard about this sort of thing.
This is the star charts for like showing the home system of not just the Milky Way galaxy, but the solar system around Terra.
But wait, is it 9 planets or is it 8?
There's only 7 now.
Damn it.
One of them got blown up was the thing. Nobody mentioned that.
Poor Uranus. They got tired of that joke. Oh man, this is... Hey, have you guys heard of this? This is like the solar system. Like old solar system, like of Terra.
I knew that looked familiar. I remember seeing the scriptures on McCraig.
But these guys haven't ever heard of the Imperium for the most part, I guess, but yet they've got an old building here with the Terran solar system? That's weird.
The Emperor's Light must have reached out here originally.
Daniel, is there anything else in kind of the archway here that indicates that maybe was this a previous Imperium structure?
I mean, the architecture is completely different than everything else around it. And it's extremely old, so that seems to make sense. I'm not an architect. I don't really know.
No, you're a flying baby monster.
I'm a flying baby.
We won't put it past you.
I don't think of myself as a monster. I think of myself as a
real nice pal. That's a you are, Daniel.
There are people moving about inside this manor, and they don't really talk to you, but one of them just, a huge burly man silently points you to a room near the front of the building.
I nod at him and continue walking.
Yeah. You two get along. The room itself has no furniture. The floor is covered in sand.
What?
It's round, and there are torch sconces all over the place.
This looks oddly like an arena.
Really love how you decorated the place.
Between the torches are tapestries. It's hard to see. They look really old. Do you think maybe they're pictures of people hunting? You're no art historians, and also, like, they're super old, so you can barely tell. And coming through the door on the opposite end of the room is Kael Rylus Darkscourge, who strides into the room very confidently.
What does he look like?
Well, maybe the biggest thing to notice is he's at eye level with you.
Oh, he's massive.
He is a massive man. He is bulging, full of muscle, but he's not... There's the stereotype that you would see that a man that large is a dummy. There is a fierce intelligence to his eyes. He is wearing the tribal garb that the people are wearing on this planet. He has it's not a crown, but it's sort of like a diadem sort of put on his head. And he nods at you. He's got very dark eyes. He doesn't smile. He's very particular about not smiling as he sees you.
He's got that poise, though.
He's got that poise of, like, he is used to being in command. He is used to his orders being followed. Not in a, like, malicious way necessarily, but just sort of in a way that he is just used to not being questioned.
He has the stance of a commander.
Exactly. You recognize him as the stance of a commander, yes. Yeah. Welcome, Adeptus Astartes.
Well, you know our official designation. That's impressive.
I have been dealing with your tribe quite extensively. I know quite a bit about you.
I don't know if you would consider us a tribe, but specifically we are the Emperor's finest. I hear you've been having problems with our predecessors.
Well, I have, but I know that your kind do not come unless you have a reason more tied to dealing death to the enemies of your tribe.
We are the Angels of Death, yes.
Well, what do you want? He seems to be, like, a little confused about what to do with you.
So there was some deaths on the planet, and possibly some Xenos activity involved, and we're here to investigate and find the problem and eliminate it.
Xenos are like, oh, by the way, I'm Kevinson. Nice to meet you.
Rylus Darkscourge.
And Kevin Kevinson extends his right hand as if to, like, shake his hand.
He does not raise his hand.
And then Kevin Kevinson, like, turns it into, like, a half wave and then puts it back over his head like he was parting his hair.
So, Kevin, and what are your two names?
I'm Lucius. That's all you need to know. I'm the commander of this team.
Wilhelm.
Excellent. Where do you intend to start your hunting?
Well, we heard news about some odd occurrences going beyond the walls of the city to the north and to the east.
And well, we wanted to come and talk to you because we kind of need permission, it seems, to leave the city.
We don't need permission.
Well, I mean, you know...
We're just here to inform you that we will be going beyond the wall.
That's an interesting proposition.
It's not a proposition.
But, you know, if you're cool with it, that would be great. I think if we were all on the same page, that'd be really nice.
So you are here to investigate the disappearances, then?
Yes, that's correct.
What do you think is causing the disappearances?
There could be a number of things involved, but it's definitely an odd circumstance, and that's all I'm at liberty to say.
Quick question. You've seen any, like, big dudes that look like us but look like green, you know, like a big green booger? Or, like, maybe, like, things with, like, a lot of sharp teeth? Or maybe, like, a tall, skinny, you know, annoying guy with pointy ears?
I've seen death in 1,000 forms.
Was that, like, the first one, or...
Even if I did allow you to leave the city, my people would never accept it. Emissaries of your tribe have been confined to the city for the past 2 decades since you have made contact with us.
Yeah, why is that exactly? Why have you been essentially holding the Emperor's followers hostage?
I don't know if I want to tell you that. This would be something that you could, like, try to roll for, but this guy doesn't... He doesn't like you, necessarily.
Well, I mean, the feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucius walks closer to the guy.
Okay, just, like, getting in his face a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't asking, I was telling. You will tell us why.
It is the way of our people that visitors are confined to the cities. It goes back to the ancient days when there were different tribes on the planet and not all united under one rule. it has worked very well to keep your Imperium from your tribe. He catches himself. He seems to be very particular about calling you a tribe, as if to
downplay that it's an intergalactic empire.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Interstellar empire, I mean.
I know Orin on any of the councils that work with me would permit you to leave the city. It would be close to a declaration of war. I want you to understand that.
With the other tribes, or just among the people of the city?
We are all one tribe now. There was a time when there were different tribes. Now it is only my tribe, and now the second tribe, your Imperium, that has come.
Well, and it sounds like you're the guy. So I feel like if you gave us the thumbs up, then I think we'd be all set, if I'm reading into that correctly.
I do have an idea. And he has he's not smiling, but maybe like sort of a half, like a wry smile, just like a little, like a Mona Lisa smile, maybe. We do allow, and this has not been done in generations, but there is a tradition of allowing outsiders to join our tribe. But they do need to complete an initiation ritual.
Oh, like a test. Is it like a written one, or is it an oral test?
It is a trial of to prove that you are a great hunter.
Multiple choice, single answer.
This would prove that you are members of the tribe. It also would increase the status of your tribe, your Imperium, amongst my less open-minded counselors.
What kind of trial?
You will go into the Deadlands, and you will hunt great powerful game, and you will bring it back.
Okay.
When can we begin?
Immediately, I suppose. It should not take you an excessively long time, but there is a stipulation. It is traditionally done in the garb and with the traditional weapons of the warriors of this planet.
So I gotta leave my awesome force sword behind?
We would make sure that they are protected, or you could leave them with your guardsmen. But it would be a simple task. You would merely need to go into the Deadlands and kill a Diablodoon.
Diablodoon? Well, what's a Diablodoon?
The most dangerous predator on this planet.
Sounds simple enough.
Well, hold on. Maybe a little more details about this Diablo thing.
Do you agree to the trial? And I will give you more information.
We have things to discuss before we answer, Kel.
Understandable.
Excuse us. And
Okay.
I pull them aside,
Huddle up.
and I huddle us up.
Huddle. Huddle.
Okay, this
Let me. I can remind you of the mission objectives that may be relevant to
We
this.
very specifically were ordered to help or assist in the way we can to bring them back to the fold.
That was the third primary objective, to convince the Orums to reassimilate into the Imperium.
So
I mean, I guess
therefore-
if we join their tribe, they're technically part of our tribe, which is the Imperium tribe.
It's not a tribe, but we will essentially elevate the more permanent detachments in a higher light in their eyes, and hopefully that means that we can leave and then they can take care of the rest.
Seems an easy enough task to complete.
Yeah.
Take a weapon, kill a beast, bring it back.
Tomo always just gave me paper tests. I don't know. This seems a little different.
Don't you have psychic powers?
What?
Wouldn't it not even matter that you're not wearing your armor?
But the sword, I really like this sword. You see what I did to those? I guess
A
you
marine
weren't
is
there.
only as strong as they are without the gifts of the Emperor.
Oh,
Brother.
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm game. Let's do this. Let's kill this Diablo thing and bring it back. Should be easy.
We turn around and I say, Kale, we accept. Point us in the direction. It'll be done immediately.
Well, I will give you over to Alcadre. They will prepare you for the hunt.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just start unclipping some of this stuff, and I
No.
unclip like a shoulder pad. It just drops on the ground.
I literally stop you before you can.
All right. Well, I guess while we're waiting for that Alcade to show up, Daniel, if you come over here, I'll prep you for I guess forest or deadland travel. I don't really know what's out there, so maybe I can just tweak a couple things. Okay?
Sounds good to me.
Thanks for listening to this grimdark tale. The Kale has extended his challenge, and now our boys must face this planet's greatest predator, unarmed and unarmored. Can the kill team survive? Tune in next week to find out. Special thanks to Daniel Fernandez for inserting his soul into a Nephilim and helping these three as Game Master. And another big thank you to Michael Fernandez for joining the kill team as Wilhelm. If you'd like to download more episodes of Roll to Seize or check out other similar podcasts, head over to partialarch.com. You can email these morons any questions at rolltoseize@gmail.com. Of course, you can always follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to leave a rating and review on iTunes. You could win a chance to battle a monster in the Deadlands! Yay! Goodbye.